Okay, so here's the song. Will you sing with me? I want to say welcome, first of all, to Storytime. This is Reed Memorial Library. I'm Miss Fran, and we're getting ready for preschool story time. So help me sing our opening song, okay? If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. I hear you. If you'd like to read a book, come on close and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. All right, let's think about the weather. If you'd like to read a book, say brrr. Can you say that? If you'd like to read a book, say brrr. If you'd like to read a book, come on close and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, say brrr. All right, now the last part. If you'd like to read a book, put on your mittens. Put on one, put on the other one. If you'd like to read a book, put on your mittens. Here, put on one. Remember the thumb's got to go out here. Fingers all together. Put on another one. If you'd like to read a book, come on close and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, put on your mittens. Very good. You got your mittens on? Your hands are all warm now? That's good. Well, I have some books that I really like this morning. I hope you like them too, because the first one is called Extra Yarn. And what do you do with yarn? Does anybody know what kinds of things you can do with yarn? Have any ideas? You could tie a bow on something, I suppose. You can knit. You can crochet. Is there somebody that knits in your family? No? Nobody knits in your family? My mom knits. All right, so this one is called Extra Yarn, and if you look really close, you'll see a little girl sitting in between the letters and a bunny rabbit that has a sweater on. Look, some of the animals are wearing sweaters. This book won an award for the pictures. And it's by Max Barnett, and it's illustrated by John Klassen. Extra Yarn. Look, there's string yarn that goes all the way across the page, all the way around. Here it goes. What is that? There's a dog looking into a box. What is going on? On a cold afternoon, that's right, on a cold afternoon in a cold little town where everywhere you looked was either the white of snow or the black of soot from chimneys, Annabelle found a box filled with yarn of every color. Look how gray everything looks. So she went home and she knit herself a sweater. And when Annabelle was done, she had some extra yarn, so she knit a sweater for her dog Mars too. But there was still extra yarn. And when Annabelle and Mars went for a walk, Nate pointed and laughed and he said, "You two look ridiculous." "Oh, you're just jealous," said Annabelle. "No, I'm not," said Nate. But it turned out he was. And even after she'd made a sweater for Nate and his dog, and for herself and Mars, she still had extra yarn. Look, she's taking the dog for a walk on the yarn and it's wrapping it all around the trees. That's pretty funny. At school, Annabelle's classmates could not stop talking about her sweater. "Quiet!" shouted Mr. Norman. "Quiet, everyone! Annabelle, that sweater of yours is a terrible distraction. I cannot teach with everyone turning around to look at you." "Then I'll knit one for everyone," Annabelle said, "so they won't have to turn around." "Impossible," said Mr. Norman. "You can't." What do you think? You think she could? But it turned out she could. And she did. Look, she knit a sweater for everyone, even for Mr. Norman. And when she was done, Annabelle still had yarn left. So she knit sweaters for her mom and dad, and for Mr. Pendleton and Mrs. Pendleton, and for Dr. Palmer, and for little Louis. She made sweaters for everyone except Mr. Crabtree, who never wore sweaters or even long pants, and who would stand in his shorts with the snow up to his knees. "No sweater for me, thanks," said Mr. Crabtree. So she made Mr. Crabtree a hat, and even then, she had extra yarn. So she made sweaters for all the dogs and all the cats, and for other animals like bears and bunnies too. Soon, people thought, soon Annabelle will run out of yarn. But it turned out she didn't. So Annabelle made sweaters for things that didn't even wear sweaters, like the mailbox and the birdhouse and a house. Look at that house. She knit a sweater for a house. That's crazy. But look how pretty. Things began to change in that little town. News spread of this remarkable girl who never ran out of yarn, and people came to visit from around the world to see all the sweaters and to shake Annabelle's hand. One day, an archduke, who was very fond of clothes, sailed across the sea and demanded to see Annabelle. "I want to see Annabelle right now." "Little girl," said the archduke, "I would like to buy that miraculous box of yarn, and I am willing to offer you $1 million. "No, thank you," said Annabelle, who was knitting a sweater for a pickup truck. The archduke's mustache twitched. $2 million, he said. Annabelle shook her head. "No, thanks." $10 million, shouted the archduke. "Take it or leave it." "Leave it," said Annabelle. "I won't sell the yarn." And she didn't. So that night, the archduke hired 3 robbers to break into Annabelle's house, and they stole the box. And they took it to the archduke, who set off across the snow and sailed over the sea. That was dishonest and mean, wasn't it? Back to his castle. The archduke put on his favorite song and sat in his best chair. Then he took out the box, he lifted its lid, and he looked inside. Look. His mustache quivered, it shivered, it trembled. The archduke hurled the box out the window and shouted, "Little girl, I curse you with my family's curse. You will never be happy again." Why was he mad? Was there any yarn in the box? No. But look at the box with the knitting needles is floating across the sea on a piece of ice. And look, Annabelle finds it and gets a stick and she's fishing it out of the water. But it turned out that Annabelle was happy. She kept knitting anyway, didn't she? Now that's an interesting story, isn't it? Why do you think that there was plenty of yarn in it for Annabelle in the box, but there was no yarn in it when that mean archduke looked in it? Why do you think? What happened? She had so much yarn, she even knitted a sweater for a tree. But her heart was a giving heart, wasn't it? She was giving sweaters to everyone, and she was making the town look beautiful. But the archduke was selfish, wasn't he? And he robbed her. His heart wasn't full of good things, was it? And for him, the box was empty. I like that story. I thought that was cool. Part of the reason why I liked it was because I like to knit too. And here's some yarn that I got at the store. And I'm really happy because I learned to knit mittens. Look, I made a mitten. I'm going to put it on so you can see. I made one mitten. Hello. I can make it into a puppet. It can talk to you. Hello, I'm a mitten. And I'm in the process of working on my other mitten, because you can't have one mitten without the other. Do you know what it's called when you have two mittens that match? See, look, there's nothing to cover my thumb yet. Two mittens that match are called a pair of mittens. So it takes a lot of time to knit mittens. So there's a saying that we use at our house when we're trying to put mittens on, because sometimes it's kind of hard to get a mitten on. Here, let me get my finished mitten on, I'll show you. It goes like this. It goes thumb in the thumb place, fingers all together. That's the song we sing in mitten weather. Some people like those kind that are called gloves that your fingers all go in, but those are so hard to get on. And I like it when my fingers are together and they stay warm. So you keep your fingers all together when you stick it in. You stick your thumb in the thumb place, fingers all together. This is the song we sing in mitten weather. So next time it's time to go out and play, you guys know a song to sing. Thumb in the thumb place, mitten or fingers all together. This is the song we sing in mitten weather. Now this is information that you need to know, because this is one of my favorite stories. And I want you guys, you might know this book by heart, and if you know it, say it with me, okay? This is called The Three Little Kittens Who, what happened to them? They lost their mittens, that's right. And yeah, that's right. And when I was a little girl, I thought to myself, why were they, well, I could see why they would cry, but why was their mother so angry? Why didn't she just go down to the store and buy more mittens? Well, the reason was you couldn't just go to the store and buy mittens. She would have to knit them more mittens. They didn't take care of the ones she had made. So this is by Paul Galdone. He drew the pictures, but it's a folk tale from a long time ago. Three little kittens. Three little kittens, they what? They lost their mittens and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our, what? Our mittens we have lost. Uh-oh, what's Mama doing? She's rolling out a pie crust, isn't she? What? Lost your mittens, you naughty kittens? Good job. Stay with me. You're doing it. Then you shall have no pie. Right. And what do they say? Meow, 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 meow. No, you shall have no pie. Now what happened? The three little kittens found their mittens and they began to cry. This must have been happy crying. Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have. Right. And she says, what, found your mittens? You good little kittens. And now what's going to happen? There you go. You know this one. Then you shall have some pie. And the kittens say, purr, purr, purr. Yes, you shall have some pie. The three little kittens put on their, what? Mittens, and soon ate up that pie. Uh-oh. Oh, mother dear, we greatly fear our mittens we have soiled. Ah, look, she's over here. She's knitting something else. Looks like maybe she's knitting a scarf. What? Soiled your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then they began to sigh. Meow, meow, meow. They began to sigh. So the three little kittens, what are they doing here? They washed their mittens, excellent, and hung them up to dry. Oh, mother dear, look here, our mittens we have washed. What? Washed your mittens, you darling kittens? But hush, I smell a rat close by. Meow, meow, meow. Yes, we smell a rat close by. What do you think the kittens are going to do now that they have their mittens and they smell a rat? You think they're going to get the rat? They could. They could eat it as deliciousness, right? Okay, so that's the three little mittens. Now, we're going to do a song, and I'm going to stand up. You guys stand up too because you've been sitting down for a long time. Why don't you stand up, give yourself a little room, and we're going to sing a song. Pretend you have your mittens on, okay? And it goes like this. Put your mittens in the air, in the air. Put them up there. Put your mittens in the air, in the air. Put your mittens in the air and hold them way up there. How high can you go? Good job. I see Noah dancing. Put your mittens in the air, in the air. Very good. Okay, another verse. Put your mittens on your cheek, on your cheek. Oh, put your mittens on your cheek, on your cheek. Put your mittens on your cheek and leave them there a week. That's a long time. Put your mittens on your cheek, on your cheek. One more verse. Put your mitten on your nose, on your nose. Oh, put your mitten on your nose, on your nose. Put your mittens on your nose and see if it grows. Oh no! Put your mittens on your nose, on your nose. Good job! You guys did a great job. Woohoo! Ah. So now we got to put our bottoms in our seat, And we're going to read one more story. Look what's on the cover of this one. Aren't those so pretty? Those look like something that someone made because look how many the stripes of color. This book is called Watching the Seasons, Winter. Do you know what season we're in right now? We're in winter. Did you guys have any snow in your yard this morning? A little. We didn't have very much. I have a friend that lives up a little bit farther north from here, and she said they have 8 inches. So we don't have as much as they do. Look, there's a polar bear, some skates. Winter is quiet. Look at that beautiful snowflake. In winter, nature is quiet. Trees are bare and snowflakes fall. Do snowflakes make noise when they fall? What do you think? Nobody has any ideas? Sometimes if they fall and they hit the window, you can hear them tapping. But most of the time, snowflakes are quiet. Ooh. In winter, cardinals fly. They do not mind the snow. There's Mr. Cardinal. He's bright red. And Mrs. Cardinal is kind of a brownish red. In winter, animals sleep. A bat hibernates. It sleeps all winter long. In winter, the night is long and the sun sets early. Did you notice how early the sun goes down and it comes up kind of late in the winter? There's a person skiing. Looks like they're cross-country skiing. In winter, wind whips the snow. Here it is a whiteout. You can hardly see in a blizzard. In winter, icicles form. When I first looked at this picture, I thought it was a frog because it looked like eyes and a green body, but it's really a leaf and 2 berries that are covered with ice. Drip, drip, drip. The snow melts in the sun. Cold air freezes the water. And in the winter, roads get icy. Plows spread sand or salt, and scrape the snow away. It helps the tires grip. There's some children. They're playing hockey, ice hockey. They have ice skates, and they're just skating on a frozen little rink in their yard. What are these children doing? Do you like to sled? Do you like to slide down the hill? In the winter, kids sled. Here they're racing down the hill. Yeah, me too. And there's those mittens. Somebody's gonna keep warm with them. So here it is, we're in winter, and the next season that will come is spring, then summer, then fall, and winter again. It keeps going in a circle. Well, I liked all those books, and now I have sent home with you a game rather than a craft this time. You do have a picture to color on the back of your paper, and you also have mittens to color. There's 2 mittens in your card deck that don't have any color on them, but the rest of them do. They're all different colors of mittens. Mittens can be lots of different colors. So your game, I put suggestions on the back for how you can play them. The first one I would suggest is just laying them all out and seeing if you can find the matching. Oh, look, I found a match. When you find matching mittens, and you know that's a pair of mittens. So you're supposed to find the matching pairs. But then you can turn them over, and so you can't see the colors of the mittens, and you can spread them all around, and you can play them like you do the game of memory. Say, maybe these 2 go together. No, and you have to keep taking turns till you find out where the mittens are. So I hope you have fun playing with your matching mittens. I hope you really get to put your mittens on and go outside and maybe find a little bit of snow here and there. So I hope that you will come and join us next time. And I would like to sing our goodbye song with you. Will you sing with me? I'm ready. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm glad you came today. I'm glad you came today. I hope that you will come again. I'm glad you came today. Will you sing it with me one more time? I'm glad you came today. I'm glad you came today. I hope that you will come again. I'm glad you came today. I'll see you next week. You guys have a fun week. Bye.